people of Osun because the way they conducted themselves is awesome. As you can see, the whole place is well secured. We have a very robust relationship with the security apparatus at every level, at the local government, at the registration area level, and even at the polling unit level. We have a very robust relationship with them, which is heartwarming too. But we have some minor issues too. As early as 9 a.m., there were reports of somebody who was caught, 2 people were caught with some money trying to induce the voters. This was done by the police, and we did promise the whole world that anybody that is caught here will not hide the person's name. The 2 suspects are Muraina Olalekan, and the other one is Amzat Muniru. Both of them were caught with a sum of 604,000 naira at the polling booth as early as 8:10 in the morning. The police acted very promptly, arrested them, and ever since, I think this has gone down.
Mr. Solomon Shoibi, the INEC Supervising Commissioner for the Osun elections there. Now, back to the guests in the studio. 2 things struck me from what he said. 1, the punctuality rate. All polling units opened at 8 o'clock on the dot, which probably means they will all close at the appropriate time. Am I correct to assume that?
Yes, your assumption is correct. Barring any other hiccups in the course of
the day,
they should close at the same time. And this is quite salutary because we've witnessed the conduct of election being staggered in this country. Even a one-off election, a gubernatorial election, we saw that in Kogi State, although there was a development that led to that. But we've also seen that in other states, even under this INEC. And so now that it's been reported that there is punctuality in the process by no other person than a highly pleased INEC official, I think that that's something that we should note, and we hope that they can build on that moving forward. Why I say that is that this perhaps going to be the last election before the general election in 2019. And so, as in that change of leadership, there's been this big question mark whether this new INEC leadership could indeed, deliver on its mandate in a way and manner the last leadership delivered. And so there've been skepticism because, as I said, the first election to be conducted under this leadership didn't record 100% success. And so now that we've had this, if everything goes on fine with this one, and the result comes out, and you see even partisans who ordinarily do not want to see defeat coming forward to say that we will not be shortchanged. It's okay, so we applaud this election. I think that INEC can ride on that success to then prepare for the general elections.
Now, Dr. Erinosho, the other thing was security.
Yes.
He says at various levels they are in agreement, and I think one of the immediate results of that was this arrest that took place earlier in the day of 2 people. He in fact gave their names. I don't know if that is completely legal, since for now they are still suspects, but he gave their names.
He gave their names as suspects.
Okay, fine. Now, well, I will repeat those names. But Dr. Erinosho, does this also speak to the fact that we are moving gradually in the right direction? Because once that happened very early, so maybe other people with the same plans may have heard and will probably have beat some kind of retreat.
Yes, no, absolutely. We are. You have to look at security more broadly. You have to look at it in terms of the likelihood of risk or disruption taking place and the impact it would have. And when you look at, and we must commend right now that, things have gone very smoothly, and that's absolutely commendable. But I think we should look more, we should be more forward-looking in terms of what are the potential risks that may occur during the course of the day.
Go ahead. What are those potential risks?
And there are some, I think there are some key local governments, for example, that need to be looked at particularly closely. There are particular sets of criteria that must be evaluated, especially local governments that had a very close margin in 2014 elections. We've also done some very detailed analysis at Town Talk to look at local governments that either flipped, from one party to the other, or were too close to call. And when you look at that in the context of security and inherently logistics, you want to start looking at about 10 local governments, the Ifes, the Ede North, Ede South, the Ayedade, Boluwaduro, Odoti, about 10 of them. But
out of the 30?
Out of the 30. But we can now zero into about 3 local governments. And I zeroed that. The first layer of analysis would be how far are they from Osogbo? We know that the collation center has, we have to move ballot boxes from all these polling units to the center to Osogbo, and 3 particular local governments strike me. One is Ife-Dayo, another is Isoko, and Ife East. Ife-Dayo is about 72 kilometers from Osogbo, which is interesting. It's the average in Osogbo, in Osun State generally, is about 46 kilometers of all local governments. So that's way above the average. Isoko is 100 kilometers, which again opens up a lot of risks and opportunities for disruptions.
Dr. Erinosho, let me put you on pause. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll allow you to continue. Yes. So we'll take a break on Osun Decides at this point, and then we'll come back. Please stay with us.